Aristotle, one of history's greatest philosophers and polymaths, was born in 384 BCE in Stagira, a small city in northern Greece. His father, Nicomachus, served as the court physician to King Amyntas III of Macedon, a role that immersed the young Aristotle in an environment steeped in both practical and intellectual pursuits. This early exposure to the world of science and medicine would influence his later explorations of natural phenomena. After the death of his parents when he was a boy, Aristotle's guardian sent him to Athens at the age of 17 to study at Plato's academy, the foremost center of learning in the Greek world. There, Aristotle studied under Plato for 20 years. He absorbed the teachings of his mentor while forming his own critical ideas. Though he admired Plato, Aristotle diverged in his thinking, preferring to base his inquiries on empirical observation and systematic reasoning rather than Plato's reliance on abstract forms. This intellectual independence eventually led to a philosophical rift, yet the time at the academy profoundly shaped Aristotle's mind. When Plato died in 347 BCE, Aristotle left Athens, possibly because he was passed over to lead the academy. He traveled widely, first to the court of Hermias of Atarneus in Asia Minor, where he married Pythias, the ruler's niece. Later, he moved to the island of Lesbos, where he conducted groundbreaking research in biology, studying marine life and laying the foundations for the science of zoology. Aristotle's meticulous observations reflected his conviction that knowledge arises from the detailed examination of the natural world. In 343 BCE, Aristotle was invited by King Philip II of Macedon to tutor his son Alexander, who would later become Alexander the Great. For several years, Aristotle educated the young prince, instilling in him a love of Greek culture and philosophy. Though Alexander would later forge his own path as a conqueror, the influence of Aristotle's teachings on ethics, leadership, and science can be traced throughout his campaigns. After his tutorship in Macedon, Aristotle returned to Athens around 335 BCE and founded his own school, the Lyceum. Unlike the academy, the Lyceum was known for its peripatetic method of teaching, where Aristotle and his students discussed ideas while walking the school's colonnaded pathways. The Lyceum became a hub of learning, boasting a library and hosting lectures on diverse subjects, including physics, metaphysics, ethics, politics, rhetoric, and poetics. Aristotle's writings from this period are among the most influential in Western thought. In metaphysics, he explored the nature of being and causality, proposing the idea of the unmoved mover as a primary cause of the universe. In ethics, he developed his concept of virtue as the mean between extremes, emphasizing the pursuit of eudaimonia, flourishing, or the good life. In politics, he examined the organization of the state and argued that human beings are inherently political animals. Meanwhile, in poetics, he offered the first known analysis of drama, defining tragedy as an art form that evokes catharsis. Aristotle's scientific endeavors were equally impressive. He classified plants and animals, laying the groundwork for taxonomy. He studied the motion of celestial bodies, the structure of the human body, and the principles of mechanics, developing a framework that would dominate scientific thought for centuries. While some of his theories were later revised or disproven, his insistence on empirical observation was revolutionary for his time. Despite his success, Aristotle's final years were marked by political turmoil. After the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE, anti-Macedonian sentiment surged in Athens, and Aristotle's connections to the Macedonian court made him a target. Accused of impiety, Aristotle fled to the city of Chalcis, declaring that he would not allow Athens to sin twice against philosophy, a reference to the execution of Socrates. Aristotle died in 322 BCE at the age of 62. His works, though largely unpublished during his lifetime, were preserved by his students and later rediscovered during the Renaissance, profoundly influencing Western philosophy, science, and culture. His legacy endures as a testament to the power of human inquiry and the pursuit of knowledge. Through Aristotle, the idea that the world could be understood by reason and observation became a cornerstone of intellectual history. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more educative videos.